नमस्कार स्टूडेंट्स। आज के इस वीडियो लेक्चर में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आशा करती हूँ कि आप सभी लोग अपने अपने घरों में अपने परिवार के साथ स्वस्थ होंगे, खुश होंगे। तो इसी उम्मीद के साथ चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का लेक्चर। So once again, I, Rashmi Pandey, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, welcoming you all. So now let us start our today's lecture, which is based on types of inheritance. So students, in my previous lecture, in the lecture number 6, we have discussed about the concepts which is related with inheritance. So inheritance is basically one of the basic concept of object-oriented programming. With the help of inheritance, we can get the advantage of code reusability, like written once or declared once, but you can use it many times in your program. So this is the basic need of using inheritance. Let us discover this topic more. First of all, let us just see what we are going to cover in this online video lecture. So following are the headings. So first of all, like every time, there is a prerequisite which is always needed, objectives. Then we will cover what is inheritance, then types of inheritance, single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and finally on the basis of all the topics which have covered in this video lecture, I have set an assignment, or you can say an exercise for you, so that you can make your concept more stronger. Then finally learning outcomes, and at last references. So students, let us just start. So first of all, prerequisite for the topic. Prerequisite means the knowledge which you must acquire before learning any topic. So for learning this types of inheritance, yes, you must know what is inheritance and the basic data types, and of course the working with classes and objects, especially their declarations. And finally, you should be familiar about how your C++ program exactly run on the editor. Okay, so these are the prerequisites. So what are the objectives of teaching this subject? So according to me, the objective is simply to train the students about OOPM concept, inheritance, and its types. Also, I would like to give knowledge about how to develop C++ programs using inheritance and its types. So we will see some practical programs also. Okay, I will explain each and everything about the program which you can write by using the concept of inheritance. Let us start with our very first topic. So this is what I have covered in my lecture number 6 also. But here, simply just to recall your previous knowledge, I have included this part in this slide also. So what is inheritance? So students, as I discussed, that inheritance is basically a very important part of the object-oriented programming system, which says that if you declare the things at one time, then there is no need to declare the same thing again and again, and no need to increase more lines of code in your program. after writing same code again and again. So this is what the basic idea behind using inheritance concept. So how this idea actually works? So as you can see in the diagram, one class A is there and another class B is there. So here, this is called the base class and this is called the derived class. As you can see here, the arrow is pointing down towards class B. So what is this? So here it means that the class B is acquiring the properties of class A. It means that the attributes or maybe some functions which are declared in class A and it is available for class B also. So there is no need to declare same function again or same attributes again in class B until the need is not there. Okay, so what is the meaning here, this base class or derived class? So base class you can say a parent class also, and derived class you can say a child class also. So what is child class? So as I just said, that a class that inherits another class is known as child class, and it is also known as derived or subclass. Likewise, similarly, the class which is inherited by another class is known as base class or parent class, or you can say a superclass. So likewise, the things will work in inheritance. Okay, let us just take a real life example. Okay, so you and your siblings. Okay, sometimes people are saying like this, no, always from you that you looks like your father, or your this habit matches with the habit of your father or your mother. So this is what, this is actually the real life example of inheritance, where you are inheriting the property of your parent class. Okay, so this is just an example. You cannot 100% relate to the technical things, because technically the things may be little bit different. But I am simply try to match the real life problem or the real life example with your technical part of inheritance. Okay, so in inheritance, like one class is acquiring the property of its parent class. So similarly in real life also you can see that the kids are acquiring the properties of their parents. Okay, so this is how the concept of inheritance works. Now let us move towards its types. Okay, so these are the five basic types of inheritance. Okay, so the type starts from single inheritance. Okay, where only two classes are present, like one class is parent class and another class is child class. So likewise, this single inheritance performed. Then multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance means where more than one classes are involved, and this we will see in our upcoming slides very clearly. Then next is hybrid inheritance. Okay, then multi-level inheritance, and finally hierarchical inheritance. So students, in the upcoming slides I am covering details of all these types of inheritances. Okay, so let us just start. Okay, this is the single inheritance. So single inheritance means, as you just see, that it is simply B is the class which is acquiring the properties of A class. Okay. So single inheritance is something which is defined as the part of inheritance in which a derived class is inherited from the only one base class. So here you have seen that B is inheriting only and only one class, which is A. So this type of inheritance is called single inheritance. Okay, now let us just see its example also. So if we can talk in terms of programs, we found such type of examples for single inheritance, where you have seen this, how to declare the class. Okay, till now we have done lot many examples related to class declaration. So I hope that you are now not feeling any difficulty to understand the syntax of class declaration. So how we actually perform single inheritance with the help of code, or how we implement single inheritance inside the code. So this is the example which explains you this topic. So here class account is there. Then in the public part, I have declared float salary 60,000. Okay. And then I have closed the class here. And then further, this is the first class. This is the parent class account. And then I have made another class which is called programmer class. Okay. And this is going to become our child class. So here I have inherit this account, or you can say parent class. Fine. And how I have inherited? I have inherited publicly. So this is what? This is basically the access specifier which I have used here, or you can say visibility mode. So students, I have discussed about all the visibility modes also in my lecture number 6, where I have clearly shown to you about the various types of visibility modes, and those are private, protected and public. So every time if you change this visibility mode, then the result will be different. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Result will be different. It means that by using, if you can use public visibility mode for inheriting account class, then all the data members which is present in the public part will become public to this programmer class also. Okay, so how it can perform? Let us just see. Now, in this public part, in the public part of this child class programmer, once again, I have taken another variable, which is of float type, and just initialized its value with 5,000. Okay, and then in the main part, in the main function where the execution actually begins, I have declared one object whose name is P1. Okay, and this P1 belongs to the child class, which is programmer. Fine. So here I have declared one object P1 of programmer type. Fine. So, and with the help of this object, I have used this salary variable also, and this bonus variable also. But one thing you need to focus here, that this salary variable is basically belongs to its parent class. But if this P1 object is able to use this salary variable, then it means that the base class, okay, its base class is inherited publicly. Okay, so that is why this float salary variable, this salary variable is becoming, or has came inside this public section. Are you getting my point, what I am trying to say? So let us revise this program again. Let us understand this program again. This program depicts single inheritance. How single inheritance? Because here the programmer, which is base class, is inherited by, or is inheriting only a single parent class. Okay, you have not seen here any other class other than this account. Okay, so likewise you are doing single inheritance, you are performing single inheritance. But if you are inheriting this parent class publicly, then it means that the data variables which are present in the public portion is become available in the public portion of the derived class too. So here it means that in invisible mode, this salary variable has also came after this inheritance. Okay, so that is why if we can make the object of programmer class, then that object is able to use the variable of its own class as well as the variables of its parent class. So that is how the object P1 is able to use the variable salary, which is actually not declared in the programmer class, but is actually uh, coming from the parent class. Okay, and now because of this, this object is able to use this variable. Okay, and then it is displaying its own variable also, which is called bonus. So likewise, the single inheritance is performed. Now let us move on. So here just focus on this. I have inheriting only fields. Like I have shown you the example which is inheriting the variables only. Now let us move next part where we are inheriting methods also. Okay, so if I am explaining you these two different types of programs, one with the use of inheritance with various variables and one with inheriting methods, then it doesn't mean that you are supposed to do these two things separately. You can do these two things in one program even. Okay, but here I'm using these two programs separately because I just want to explain you the concept clearly. Okay, so in this program I am trying to inherit the methods also. So how I can perform this? Let us just see this. Here class animal is there, and in its public part I have declared the function void eat. Okay, and inside the function body I have displayed with the help of cout like eating. And this is another class which is called class dog, and this class dog is inheriting the property is inheriting the class animal inside it. And how it is get inherited? It is inherited publicly. So again inside this dog class, one access specifier I have used public, and inside this I have created a function which is void bark, and here I have displayed the property, displayed the word barking. So then I have closed this function, and then finally I have closed the class dog also. So here till this point you have seen that I have declared one class, and this class is inherited inside the dog class, and both the classes having different functions. Parent classes containing this eat function, and this dog classes containing bark function. Okay, now let us come to the main function part. So here what you have seen, I have simply made an object D1 which is of dog class type. Okay, so dog is what? Dog is the uh, derived class. So with the help of the object of this dog class, I have called its parent class function also, which is eat, as you can see here. Okay, and its own function also, which is bark. So likewise, you can inherit methods also. Now, let us move further for another type of inheritances. So, next type of inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. So, as you can see here, here more than two classes are present, but the process is like this. like A is inherited inside the B, and then B is inherited inside the C. So here you can include your grandparents also, like the features which your grandparent is having is included or is inherited in your parents, and the features or some habits which is present in your parents, which may be the part of your grandparents, will then come to your part. So this is how the multi-level inheritance is performing. So as you can see here, it is a process of deriving a class from another derived class. And when one class inherits another class, which is further inherited by another class. So it is known as multi-level inheritance in C++. Now, let us see and understand this by looking its example. So this is the example of multi-level inheritance, where once again we can take the class animal, which we have seen earlier also, and then the class dog, same class which we have seen in our previous example, but here I have included one more class, which is baby dog. So what it does, it is inherited this dog or class with the help of access specifier public. Okay, so this is how this hierarchy has formed. This is you can say animal class. This is you can say and B belongs to this animal class, and then finally this C belongs to this baby dog class. So as you have seen here, this animal class is inherited by this B class, and this B class is inherited by this C class, or you can say the animal class is inherited by the dog class, and the baby dog class includes this dog class inside it, but publicly. So here as you can see, this program is forming the multi-level inheritance. Now let us move forward by understanding the concept with the help of its main part. So here as you can see that this is the C class. Okay, this is the lowest third level class according to our example, and I have made the object of this third class also, and by using this third class object which is baby dog, I have accessed all of its parent class functions, like it is able to access this eat function also, it is able to access its bark function, and finally it can access its own function, which is B. Let us take a look again. So here I have this is the function which is belongs to animal class, this is the function which belongs to dog class, and this is the function which belongs to baby dog class. So likewise I have included this so likewise we can perform this multi-level inheritance. Now, come to the next type of inheritance, which is called multiple inheritance. So, as you have seen here, the whole picture has been made like this, where the derived class is basically inheriting the properties of more than two classes. Like the derived class here is inheriting the properties of B1 class, okay, then B1, B2, and then more than two classes. So you can say that it is the process of deriving a new class that inherits the attributes from two or more classes. So as you can see here, this is the syntax of the derived class, where you can see this is class D, and it is inheriting the properties of one class, and then another class, and more than two classes. So likewise you can perform multiple inheritance also. So students, I have not included the example or any program in this PPT because it takes lots of space here. This we will perform in our practical session for sure. So till then you just understand the concept of multiple inheritance. Now come to the next type, which is called hybrid inheritance. So as you can see here, it is a combination of basically more than one type of inheritance. So this is how you can find the things like A is inherited inside B and as well as inside C, and then this B and C got inherited by the D class. So as you can see here, it is included the single inheritance also, it is included the type multiple inheritance also, it is included the type multi-level inheritance also. So you can say that it is a combination of more than one type of inheritance. So while doing programming, if there is a need that you are doing your program something which is making the structure like this, then it will become a hybrid inheritance. Now finally, the last type of inheritance is hierarchical inheritance. So as you can see here, it is you can say the opposite of multiple inheritance, where one root is there and from that root multiple branches are derived. So in hierarchical inheritance, it is defined as the process of deriving more than one class from a base class. So as you can see here, this is the A class, and with the help of this A class, B, C and D are derived from this. Okay, so this is somewhere it is making a kind of hierarchical structure. Okay, so this is called hierarchical inheritance. So I think students, you have got the basic understanding of inheritance and its types clearly till now. So in this complete video lecture, I have tried to explain you about the inheritance and its types, and I have tried to explain few examples also, so that you can get the understanding of how actually inheritance works inside the coding, or you can say that how actually we can implement the inheritance inside the code. So this is the you can say the syntax of hierarchical inheritance. Like first of all, you have class A, then you have class B, which is inheriting class A with the help of public access specifier, but you can change it according to yourself. And then there is a class C, which is again accessing this A class, and then finally you have D, which is accessing A class. Okay, or you can say which can access this A class with the help of this B and C. So here you can write like public B comma public C also. So likewise you can make this whole structure. Fine. So here this is called hierarchical inheritance. If you want to make it, then you have to inherit all the the parent class A inside all these three child classes. So this is what is happening here, and the case which I have discussed here is the case of hybrid inheritance. So you just make it correct. This is the syntax of a hierarchical inheritance only, where class D needs to you can say it needs to inherit the class A for making the exact working of hierarchical inheritance. Okay, now this is the final assignment for you, which is based on this video lecture. And in this assignment, I just want to give you a code which gives you the knowledge and understanding of or which helps you to develop your coding skills. These questions are based on the questions or the problems which I have discussed in this video lecture, and the sample programs also I have shown to you and I have explained you. So on the basis of that, I need that you can write a code which is implementing multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. So just try to make and then let me know whether you are able to make it finally or not. If in both the cases, you can inform me and you can ask from me about your problems also. Finally, we have learning outcomes. So at last, if you are able to understand everything clearly, then uh, you must acquire the ability to observe and develop sense-making logical skills for abstract concepts and understanding the concept of object-oriented programming with inheritance and its types. So these are the references which if you want to use, you can use it. And finally, thank you. So students, thank you very much for patient listening me, and stay at your home, stay safe and stay happy. We will again meet in our next online lecture with more interesting concepts. So once again, till then, stay at your home and follow all the guidelines which have given by government. Thank you so much.